You see, faith, now I'll have to use English here. The derivation of the word faith is from Latin fides, which means trust. And the first question, if I say I have faith that the Pharaohs are going to win the World Cup in football, I believe that the Pharaohs are going to win the World Cup in football, you might ask, what basis have you got for that belief? Once you use the word faith or belief, and it's the same in Greek, the language of the Bible, you have to ask the question, what's the basis of your faith? Or you've got a friend in school, I trust Jane. And somebody says, why do you trust Jane? And you say, well, for this reason, I found her to be loyal, I found her to be, etc. You've got reasons. That's normal faith. I had faith in an aircraft to bring me from London to Copenhagen to the Faroes. I trusted it. That's what we normally mean by faith. But you see, what Dawkins has done is to change the meaning. And he thinks that faith is A, a religious word only. And B, it means believing where there is no evidence. Now that is very dangerously wrong, because that actually is what we mean by blind faith. And it is dangerous. The Christian faith is not blind. I believe in God because I've reasons to believe in God. Now, the very important thing about that is this. By redefining faith as blind faith, the new atheists like Richard Dawkins move attention away from the fact that science is based on faith. Science involves faith. Of course it does. Einstein once made the remark, he said, I cannot imagine a scientist without that faith. Now, he didn't mean faith in God. He meant faith that science can be done. Let me put that another way. I'm a scientist. Why do I bother doing science? Well, because I believe it can be done. I have faith that it can be done. Why do I have faith that it can be done? Because I believe this universe is rationally intelligible. That is, it is in part accessible to human reason. I believe that. That's my basic faith. It's the faith of every scientist. You've got to believe that before you start. Now, the next interesting thing here is this. I work in Oxford, and there are many scientists there. And I sometimes say to them, what do you do science with? Oh, they say, I've got a wonderful piece of equipment that cost £1 billion or something. And I use, oh no, I said, I don't mean that. I mean this. Oh, you mean my brain? I say, okay, I actually mean your mind, but you think the brain and the mind are the same, that's all right. I don't. But you do it with your brain, do you? What's your brain? Tell me about your brain that you do your science with. And give me the short story, because I haven't got much time. You just tell me the short story. What's the short story about the brain? And they say, well, really, the brain is the end product of a mindless, unguided process. And I say, and you trust it? If you knew your computer was the end product of a mindless, unguided process, you wouldn't trust it for a minute, would you? Of course not. Why do you trust it? Now, here's where the problems start. If you're an atheist, why would you trust the end product of a mindless, unguided process? You've no reason to. That's why I'm not an atheist, ladies and gentlemen. Not because I'm a Christian, but because I'm a scientist. And I believe science can be done. The very interesting thing now is that one of the major arguments, and it's been raised not just by Christians like me, but by atheists. Have a look at a book called Mind and Cosmos by the philosopher Thomas Nagel. He's saying this. He's saying we have a big problem. If you get rid of God, then you're reducing thought to physics and chemistry, and that means you're removing all meaning. Now, because I'm a scientist, I believe there is meaning. Believing in God gives me a base for that. Atheism takes that base away. So this business of faith is crucial. But the most interesting part of it is not the faith in God, it's the faith that we need as scientists. What is the ground for it? And I want to suggest, very provocatively of course, that atheism doesn't give me the ground for it.